All right, you're all unmuted. Nut up. Let's go. Welcome to another exciting episode of Eberron, Ashes of Blast War. I'm Obsidia, everybody's favorite DM. So happy to have y'all here. We are gonna go do our classic setup of our round the table introductions before we get a brief session recap, and we jump back in for even more trauma. So let's go. Starting off. First the worst, more like, hey, Paige the mage. Welcome, welcome. You go first.
Me. Hello, everyone. I play Paige. She's the local wizard. But I'm Yulia. Sorry, I woke up from a nap. I go by real name BT on both Twitch and Twitter. I need to get my stuff together to play more games, but I normally play Skyrim and Fire Emblem and a whole bunch of stuff, and I play D&D with these lovely people. So thank you for having me on again. They still let me on here.
If they still let me on here, there's no way that you would get dismissed. And yes, if people ever wonder, the stuff we say immediately before going live is always the cringiest. So next up we have Der Fruin Lingonberry. Let's go.
Yeah, I think that's about right. Honestly, the least unhinged way of saying it we've had so far.
I've been doing this for like fucking 15 episodes. I have to keep coming up with new things.
Yes, but hello everyone. My name is Lily. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Lily Faywood. I am playing Fruling this campaign. The lovely, slowly getting revealed to be more and more deranged, definitely mentally stable mother figure of the party. I don't know. It's not good, whatever mothering I am doing.
Well, that's okay because the party isn't doing a good job of being a child.
True. But on my channel, I'm finishing up my hiatus right now, but I will be back to streaming very soon. I will be streaming Fire Emblem Engage when that comes out on the 20th, and likely going to be trying to do some more music streams because I want to put more of a focus on that. So yeah, if you like that stuff, check me out. Yay.
Yay!
Yay! Next up, we have our horniest party member. Let's go, Jubilee.
That's me. Hello, everybody. I am Mary/Mare/Maribel while we're still going through all of this rebranding shenanigans. But yeah, I'm currently on a hiatus as well due to said rebranding shenanigans. And, but yeah, so you can still find me here on Obs' channel and on Litro's channel. I play lots of D&D with these folks, playing all of your favorite disaster buys. And once I get back up and rolling, you can expect comfy, cozy streams. We do reading, we do crafts, we do all kinds of just chill stuff. So if that's your vibe, stop on by. But for now, enjoy the buy chaos.
Inside of you are two buys. Both of them are horny for each other.
Exactly.
Thank you, Jubilee. Next up, we have our saddest they them to ever walk this lonely road. We've got Paint.
Hey, I'm Leecher the Bronze. I am currently playing Paint in this campaign. So if you like said changelings, feel free to stick around and watch them. Also, if you come by my channel, if you are a fan of Dungeons and Dragons, RPGs, town builders, whatever tactical stuff, feel free to stop by my channel because we got all that.
Thank you, Leetro. Definitely go check out Leetro. Awesome Bean, notorious DMG, also a person who corrals all of these idiots together for them to be sad gays together. Definitely go check them out. Next up, we've got, last but never least, the kitty Claw Her herself, Cess.
Hi, my name is Sif. There is no cat in the walls of Ba Sing Se, nor in my armor. Hi. Currently, in terms of my channel, art, games, looking to start getting back into Spider-Man and stuff. Maybe we'll do God of War. I kind of want to make a Viking model with a giant, with like big ass pecs, like big ass Bara, whatsies. Aside
Yo,
from that,
Yo?
not much else.
Cool.
But yeah, I hope to see you guys there or not. I just said you guys are great. I love you, big smoochies.
Sif is our token Catgirl Knight, but I like that he feels the need to make sure you guys know that he needs an excuse to model big ass Bara titties, while the rest of us say just do it, you coward. But thank you, Sif. All right, everybody. We don't have any announcements tonight, but we do have a brief session recap. So previously on Eberron, Ashes of the Last War, our party finished up their time aboard the Silver Lining ship. Jubilee and Kairos had a bit of an intimate heart-to-heart together where they said their final goodbyes, made promises for the future, and Kairos gave her a parting gift for his knight in shining armor. Then Paint and Larissa were partying it up and fading to black, much to my surprise. But they were having a good time before the ship finally docked back in Sharn, and the party left Kairos, who he and Kliff tried to extend a brief olive branch to each other before going their separate ways. After this, Cess decided to lead the party on a let's go share our trauma trip, and also being more open about their feelings. And so she took them to a place where it was a site of heartbreak for her in the past, and then they proceeded to go their separate ways, some of them going to train, some of them going to Duck World, woohoo! And then Cess and Paige going to the grave site of their parents, the site of the fallen tower in Sharn from the terrorist attack by the Ashbringers. While on their way there, Paige confronted Cess about a lot of accumulated trauma and her feelings towards Cess and how she doesn't seem to know Cess. They seemingly kind of worked through some of that by letting it all in the open, so that when they were able to talk to their parents, they were able to be a bit more open and show how far they've come. They started at the bottom, but now they're here. Paige then had a moment where she got stuck in the past, witnessing the final few minutes of her father's life in this world when he came into contact with a woman who had a mysterious essence take her over with red, bloodshot eyes, much like the Ashbringers, who proceeded to interact with her father for a bit before leaving as the towers came crumbling down. Her father then began to get stuck inside of his tower. Paige decided to break the barrier between past and present to intervene, much to her father's surprise. And as her leg began crushed and she felt like her life was on the line, she refocused in on her gift that was given to her by Cess and was able to refocus and recenter herself into the present. Upon emerging from the past, she and Cess went to go talk to her professor, who explained that if she is not careful when delving into the past will try and fight back against her, and anything that she suffers in the past will affect her mortal body in the present, and so she needs to be careful when mastering this ability. Then the party got aboard the train, heading back to Greywall, and that's when all hell broke loose, where Fruling and Paige had a heart-to-heart talking about their own sad experiences and the loss of family. Jubilee, Paint, and Cess had a bit of a throwdown about Paint's potentially leaving the party, thinking that their work isn't worthwhile, that they don't want to do this anymore, that the party isn't doing as much for them as their patron is. Jubilee lost a gasket over this, and it eventually ended with everybody basically saying, fine, if you want to leave the party, Paint, that's on you. We're gonna go still be back at our house. Upon returning to the house, things were a little awkward, but everyone was happy to see Lily once more. And then they were able to meet up with the somewhat bedraggled, barely having slept Sylvana, who was incredibly manically clingy to them and gave each of them gifts that were forged from tearing apart the elemental motes out of various elemental beings, to make basically little tchotchkes and knickknacks for the party. She then had a bit of an unstable conversation with the party about her abandonment issues, but saying that she was totally fine now. And then she had a bit of a talk with Jubilee after showing Jubilee that she had shattered all of the furniture and belongings inside of their room and had, done a very thorough job mending it back together, but it was still, there were noticeable cracks throughout it. And she said it was a part of her nightmares when she's truly alone. Finally, before the night ended, Jubilee had a brief moment seeing Sylvana re-enter her room to get her things together to move back in with Jubilee, and saw that the walls of her room were covered in words from a dozen different languages and esoteric arcane symbols, which she did not understand. And with that, we jump right back into the session here. A tchotchke is just like, it's a knickknack, basically. It's just a little thingy, something minor, something not super value or anything. Like a keychain would be like a tchotchke. And so, yeah, that night, Jubilee, as she is going to bed, she notices that Prince is doing his best to maintain distance between himself and Sylvana, rather than his traditional way of sleeping, which is snuggled between the two of you. Instead, he is either fully on the opposite side of Jubilee, or he just goes underneath the bed to sleep. And he drags down some of your pillows with him, because he's not just going to sleep on the floor like a savage. But as you sleep, Sylvana is actually much more like snuggled up next to you than usual. Usually she just sleeps next to you. But as you go to bed, she actually will, kind of put her arm along your side as she falls asleep. And you have the surreal experience of, for the first time in months, you no longer have a dream about the Fae. You just have a quiet, restless sleep where no dreams happen at all. And then the next morning, you awake. Sylvana is still fast asleep upon your awakening. Jubilee, what do you do?
Well, I would also say that, Sylvana's being, very snuggly and whatnot. Juby does not mind this at all. She's kind of like cuddled up with her too, like her tail sort of draped over her legs, and kind of like how, like when she and Maggie were younger, and like Magnolia would have a bad dream and like come into bed with her and like they would cuddle, kind of like that. It's
That's
very
adorable.
intimate, but very innocent. And seeing that Sylvana is, passed out asleep, she is not about to wake her. Climbs out of bed, morning routine, gotta look fabulous. And even though it's a little shorter now, thanks to, certain Fae properties, and she's gonna firstly check on Prince, I think, having noticed that he's really nowhere to be seen. Just kind of do a quick scan of the room to try to find him, because it's a little odd that he's not within immediate eyesight.
Yeah, as you look around the room, you will see that he has, apparently over the course of the night, he moved to the opposite side of the room, near the door, and basically stacked a bunch of cushions on a chair there that he curled up in, and took one of your dresses and wrapped it over himself.
Oh, geez. All right. Well, I'm glad you made yourself comfortable. And she'll walk over and give his head like a little scruffy pet.
Meow.
Yeah, good morning to you too.
Meow. And he kind of
Does he look okay? Like,
yeah, now that he's, kind of over at his side, he looks a little chubby, maybe from being with your family for a couple days.
That's to be expected.
But yeah, he looks to be his typical beautiful winged kitty self. When you do scratch him and stuff, he does kind of go, his eyes half lidded and his ears back as he kind of side glances over at the sleeping form of Sylvana.
Now be nice. You be nice. She's gone through a lot. I know you like to have all the attention to yourself, but sometimes you gotta share.
Meow.
All right, come on, let's get you some breakfast. And
Meow. He leaps
she'll,
onto your shoulder.
good. Oh goodness, you are heavier. Okay, let's go downstairs. And she'll head downstairs towards the kitchen and see if anyone else is up.
Lily is, making breakfast and everything. Kai-shen is getting a cup of coffee. He's wearing his normal morning outfit, which is his fatigues for his pants and boots, and then he's got his silk robe wrapped around his chest. His hair is still down. He hasn't put it back into his top knot.
Morning.
Morning.
Lily, is our coffee ready?
Oh, of course. Let me pour you a cup, Jubilee.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Lady Ravabot.
I forgot how Lily talks to you.
That's quite all right. I don't
She-
mind a bit of informality, so.
She pours you a cup and puts it down with the cream and sugar next to it if you want.
Yep, she'll add in some cream, some sugar, take a sip. Well, I guess I for once find myself with not much to do. Kind of odd.
It sounds like you need to train harder then.
Oh, right. Right. There's idle hands and all that. You're right. If I have time to sit around and do nothing, I have time to train.
Come with me. I'm sure that Lily can handle the cat.
Oh, yeah, yes. Lily, if we could get Prince some nothing too fatty. He's kind of putting on a little weight.
Okay. I'll get some. I'll get some fish. Make sure all the bones are out. Everything. I'll just be one moment. I gotta go down into the basement to go get some more food.
That sounds perfect. And she'll kind of stroke Prince's back and just say, "Now you behave."
Meow.
All right, so training, swordsmanship or shield work, footwork. What should I improve
No,
today?
I have a different form of training in mind for you today. Meet me in
Oh.
my room.
In your room. I don't think there's much room for training in a bedroom.
For what we're going to be doing, we don't need very much space.
Okay. She's very flustered right now.
And he's just got his cup of coffee in one hand as he gives you that perpetually disinterested look in his half-lidded eyes.
Okay, yeah, let's go. She's gonna take a big swig of her coffee and take the cup with her.
All right. He leads her to his bedroom. Are you wearing your armor right now?
No, I don't
Okay.
think she would be because she was not preparing for it, so she's just wearing her pink fluffy dress.
And he will lead you to his very Spartanly adorned room. Although you do see that there are several goblin rune tapestries that he's hung up along the walls. And he moves a chair to the side, so there's just a big open space in the center of his room next to his clearly made and tucked bed and his armor stand and everything. He goes, "Sit."
On the where should I sit?
The floor.
floor.
Yes.
Okay. And she'll sit very awkwardly. She doesn't know how to politely sit on the floor, and like she doesn't want like her legs exposed, like really, so she's like kind of trying to sit cross-legged but like tugging at the hem of her skirts.
And Kai-shen will go over to the to a closet behind you, and he will come and put down a large sheet of canvas and a large brush and paint. And he puts it right down next to the canvas.
What am I doing here?
He puts paint away and instead takes out ink.
I don't really understand.
You need to learn control and patience.
And is painting going to help with that?
We're not simply painting. We are going to be expressing ourselves.
All right. How should I do that?
He was going to sit down next to you on his knees and go. The first step is to not sit as if you were at a debutante ball. Get on your knees.
Oh, all right. And she'll sort of adjust her posture, get up on her knees.
Excellent. Now, I have been noticing that you have been struggling as of late. I could tell in your outbursts with your companions that you have a clear, accumulated animosity that you have not been able to express.
Yeah, I guess I've made that a little obvious.
It is a common symptom from those who take on too much burden but do not understand the toll it takes on themselves.
I don't feel like it's too much. I mean, if anything, I haven't done enough. If I'm feeling this frustrated, if people are frustrated with me, and it just means I need to do I should be better.
You need to be able to understand these feelings in a much more healthy way than you are doing currently. So I am going to teach you what I learned myself.
All right. I look forward to your instruction.
Excellent. Now, calligraphy is the primary form of artistic remembrance practiced by my clan. We do not write books of our sagas. Rather, you use the language of our people to be able to express a poetic, symbolic nature to the various stories of our lives. These will outlive any particular storyteller and will allow you to perpetuate your legend throughout the centuries.
That sounds really lovely. I don't I don't know how to how to write in Goblin.
I was aware of this. I'm going to teach you some basic Goblin so that you can be able to understand what I'm trying to say with the process. Once you have a thorough enough understanding of the mechanics, you may express yourself in whatever language you feel will be able to artistically coincide with your feelings.
Right. The basics then.
Indeed. And he is going to sit next to you, and first he's going to take the brush, and in a few careful strokes, he writes out a series of goblin runes and explains to you, "This is my name." See that in Goblin, it is not simply individual letters, but rather symbolic characters.
How would you write my name?
He thinks for a moment and then starts doing a couple quick brush strokes. This is a close approximation. And he points to one set of characters and goes, "This means happiness or joy." I assumed it would be the closest approximation to common Jubilee.
I see. And she's gonna pick up a brush and attempt to copy it, but it's like with Mandarin and like Chinese characters, there's a particular order to the she is not doing that. She is simply trying to visually copy what she sees and is absolutely butchering it.
You see Kai-shen stare down at what you wrote. You need some additional instructions.
Oh.
And he is going to move behind you, and he is going to basically be sitting behind you with his legs on either side of your torso, and he is going to put his right hand on your right hand with the brush, and he's going to have his face leaning over your shoulder as he will start guiding your brush strokes in the proper order and flow.
This is awfully complex for just my name.
It is important to be able to understand the beauty in even the most minor of things. Your name is an expression of your being.
Right. So, going slower then, and oh gosh, I'll never I'll never remember the right angle of the brush. How you get it to look so effortless.
It is years of practice. My children also struggled at first when I tried to teach them.
Did they get better?
He gives a very thin smile as he continues the strokes, and he goes, "They did. They did."
Probably better than this anyway. She tries once again a new character trying to reproduce her name.
And now that you've seen Kai-shen write his name in Goblin, you now think back to those tattoos, those scarred tattoos on his chest, and you actually can see at least the words for Shen and Zhao in Goblin characters are scribed onto his chest 2 times. You don't know what the first words are because you don't know those characters, but
Right. I don't mean to to pry or anything. I know it's none of my business, but these characters here, they match the ones on for your tattoos. They match your tattoos. Is that? Imagine it's some kind of significance.
He he stops your hand for a moment as you were writing, and you feel like you have the briefest like tight muscle grip on the back of your hand before he loosens it a bit and continues guiding your strokes. Yes, those are the names of my wives and children.
See. I don't imagine that if you're here with us that they're somewhere out there. I imagine that's where you'd rather be if you could.
Correct. They are no longer here.
I'm sorry.
You would have liked them, and I think they would have liked you. I see aspects of them within you.
Not the artistic ones, though.
You say that now, but my daughter Mayloon, she also struggled to be able to express herself artistically. She inherited my martial skill, her mother's arcane capability, and her co-mother's clever intellect, but alas, she never inherited the necessary patience of expression.
It's good that you gave them such a well-rounded education. I mean, I just got rules and etiquette and fighting, and I'm starting to realize how much I missed out on.
I am sure your parents did what they thought was best for your instruction. It is a place of privilege for me to be able to say what we did for our children, because the clan manages the education and instruction of the children until they come of age. We, as their parents, are simply given the luxury of seeing them and bestowing on them what we can. But they are not ours, they are the clan's.
Huh. It's kind of a nice way to go about it. It seems kind of strange to me, but it's just different than what I know. Everything's been for the family, the name, the title, and that's what I was raised for. But it seems so silly to be bitter about it. I mean, everyone else has bigger problems than me.
I do not understand what that must be like, for it is not my ways, nor is it the ways of my clan. But it seems as if you have done a admirable job in trying to fulfill the honor of your name and title.
Yeah, that's me. Good old dependable Jubilee. I'm always there. Even if they don't notice.
You must not simply do things, for it is expected of you by someone else. You should achieve what you are best capable of and what you desire, for that is the only true way that you will be able to fulfill your responsibilities and to give true honor to that name and title. And as he's doing the strokes with you, you notice that there are water droplets hitting the canvas, mixing and diluting with the ink.
Kai-shen, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to raise such touchy subjects.
As you look at him, you see that his face has remained the same. His eyes are still that half-lidded disinterest, but he is, staring very focused onto the sheet as he is drawing, and you see tears running down the sides of his cheeks, even though he is making no actual affectations about them.
She's gonna give a little tight smile and pull out one of her very flowery, overly embroidered handkerchiefs and hand it over to him.
He kind of just gestures it away. I explained to you from the start, this is about expression and being able to express your feelings and emotions. If you do not put that out onto the canvas, then you are not fully utilizing your medium. This is a story, the story you wish to tell, and the emotions and feelings that come with it.
I guess I just feel angry for the first time. I mean, I've felt upset before, and I felt semblances of anger before, but I've never been allowed to express it. It gets in the way of your work, of your priorities. And it feels good for once that I can feel this way. I know I said and I've done some hurtful things, but I don't regret them. Because for once, I'm able to say what I feel. I'm done being in the background. I'm done being silently dependable. I'm tired. I'm tired of people I care about not seeing me because they expect me to be there. I was there for Kairos for years. Years! I was there. Right there. And it's not that he was bad to me or anything, but he wasn't good either. And all this with paint, with everything that the group has done for him. And to say that after all this, that the work I do isn't good enough. That I cause him nothing but painful memories. I just can't take it anymore. I'm done with that. And I don't care if being angry makes me a bad person. I'm allowed to be angry. So I'll be honest about it.
Live authentically, Jubilee. You have a story that is not yet finished. And he stops the brush for a moment and he gestures to the canvas on the walls that he has written. Those are the stories of my children. See how short they are, and see that they end. The most I am able to do is to transfer that onto something that I can remind myself. You do not need to end there. Your legend is still yet to be done.
All right. I'll give it a shot. And she's gonna pick up the brush again and just ponder for a moment. And she's just gonna write like everything that she just vented and explained, but also a little bit about her ambitions, how she is proud of who she is, where she's come from, and how much she's grown. And kind of almost trance-like she's in the zone. And she pulls away when she's done and realizes that she was writing in Sylvan.
Kai-shen nods and looks down at it and goes, "While I do not know the specifics of what that says, for I do not understand it, its purity of purpose seems beautiful to behold."
I feel better having gotten all this out. I still feel a little anxious about everything, but thank you for this.
Kai-shen will nod and he will stand up from behind you and goes, "You are welcome to practice here whenever you desire."
Thank you. That means a lot.
And as he stands up and looks down at what you've written and looks at you and goes, "I hope that if Melon had lived as long as you had, that she would be as strong as you are right now."
Juby offers, for the first time in this morning, a true, genuine smile and just nods her head and says, "Well, thank you, but I know I can be stronger yet. And I'll show you."
And he'll give you back a bit of a fanged smirk in response, as his eyes actually light up ever so slightly.
We take those small victories.
And yeah, so you're welcome to continue practicing. He will just be writing next to you, and can give you pointers and stuff along the way, and you can let out anything you want to let out, and he will just, be quietly doing his own thing unless you need something from him.
Yeah, she'll keep practicing for a little bit. But he would probably notice that whatever she does from this point it doesn't look as frantic as the initial scripted monologue. She is much more relaxed now.
Okay. And yeah, with that we will finish Kai-shen and Jubilee bonding over art, and we will jump over to Cess. Cess,
Oh, yeah.
you awake. What do you do?
Assuming that we didn't get the chance to form the cuddle puddle,
Alas.
yes, what a sad reality we live in. Says is going to wake up. I'm assuming her and her sister slept together.
Okay, that's up
Last
to you
session
guys.
was a lot of.
You guys very hit or miss sleep together.
Yeah, it's never consistent, just like real family. I'm assuming Says will wake up first and just leave the room, go to the bathroom, do the morning thing, and then after breakfast, is Sylvana out eating breakfast? Did Lily make her food?
Yeah, she's gonna be like a much later in the morning to wake up. She wakes up probably closer to like 11.
Do I see Juby out and about before then? Yeah, right?
Yeah, you'll see her eventually leave Kai-shen's room and go do whatever Jubilee does.
Okay, I'm an impatient Catwoman, alright? I'm gonna go over to the room that Sylvana slept in and knock on the door. Sylvie, you awake in there?
Yes, and she's kind of, you hear a stumbling on the other side as she opens it. She's in her, like, basically her boy shorts and tank top that she normally wears when she sleeps, with her gloves, and she kind of half awake looks at you through one eye and goes, yes, Cess, what is it?
I was thinking about upgrading my claws at Oathgold's workshop, and I needed to go buy some materials. You want to come with me?
Sure, I can come. Just give me a moment to get ready. What time is it?
It's For point of no reference, I think you're the last person awake, so it's like 10-ish, I'd say.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I needed the sleep.
Take your time, brush your teeth, go on downstairs, and get breakfast from Lily. I'll be out on the porch waiting for you. Okay?
All right, I'll see you out there.
Mhm. Just gonna go out to the porch, sit out, admire our new house. Living the big life.
All right. After probably about 30, 40 minutes, she'll come downstairs fully dressed and stuff. Her spider bot on her back again, and she will come on over to the back porch and be like, "All right, I'm here, sis. Let's go hit the town, I guess."
Yeah, come on. Let's go to the market and see if I can't get some magical materials for my gloves. And says, sort of like takes her by the wrist, and they walk into town together.
Oh, as you grab her and lead her along.
Mm-hmm. Assuming there's like no resistance. Yeah, she's
No, she'll go along with you.
Gotcha. So I'm assuming at the market, hand wave, I buy the materials to make a +1 weapon. Yeah. So after the initial bout of shopping, Says is gonna look at Sylvana and say, "So listen, I know this pot was really fast, but just so happens Coogan, he's a little busy at his workshop today, and we can do the crafting there after he's done, after hours. So I figured in the meanwhile we could get you some sunlight, maybe have a little fun date out. That sound like something you'd be interested in?"
Yes, I'd be happy to spend some time out with you. I haven't been outside in a few days.
Well, let's get some sunshine on your face. Let's start off with some food. I've been meaning to go to the butcher's. They have these little like dried meat snacks cured in sugar that I know Paige would love. Come on.
Sure.
And I don't want to RP at every place we go to, but Says is. I'm just gonna list off all the places Says takes her to before like one final scene where they get to RP. So takes her over to the butcher's. I have the name written here. NPCs matter. All NPCs have rights.
I had to say so many NPCs that adventure.
At Calthax's butchery, she introduces her to the lizard woman at the shop, and her 2 kobold assistants, I remember.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, it's a little past lunchtime, takes her over to the Silver Flame Church where Lady Ray is giving out food, and they spend some time there interacting with her and little Knoll kids who run by to pick up food and play games. Says accidentally chucks a frisbee into a window and they run off. They go off looking at all the town, all the buildings, the sights. They stop over at the bar Larissa works at to see if she's there to say hi, but if not, they'll just say hi to the bartender, make some conversation.
Larissa has started fortifying one of the balconies of your mansion with cushions and stuff she's stolen from throughout the house. She is immediately making herself at home.
That's the norm now, okay, as long as the bartender knows. And as the day winds down, the sun starts setting. Obs, is there farmland outside of Greywall?
Yeah, there would be some farms.
Says would take her out of town up to a hill that overlooks the town, like near some like crop fields or whatever, on like a dilapidated fence and trees and stuff, and just sort of takes a fat seat on the ground and pats the ground next to her to invite Sylvana over to sit and rest after a long day of walking.
Oh, I don't think I've moved that much in my life.
Good, you should make a habit of it. You get to see a lot of nice things there. The old barkeep at Lizard's bar told me about this place. Says as the sunset hits just right, you get a perfect view of the city. All the lights in the houses coming up, the street lights being lit. It's a beautiful sight. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Is everything?
Just thank you. I'm surprised that you went so out of your way to just I don't know, just do things with me today that weren't just smithing.
Sylvana, you and I are more than just craftsmen. We're two people with life, things. You know what? I'm not good at explaining things with words, so I'll do it like this. And takes out the lantern that comes pre-packaged with your adventurer's kit. Don't let your DM make you forget this. You get a lantern, it's free. And says, lights the lantern and puts it on the ground next to him, sort of light it up as it's getting darker. And then she points down to the town. Do you see all those flickering flames down there in the town?
Yes, I do.
And we've got this flickering flame here to represent us. The flames down there, each one a different person, with their own dreams, desires, futures, hopes, goals, etc. And here's our flame. And every time we get to meet a new fire, it grows a bit brighter, bigger. Might go out faster, might last longer, who knows. But it's important that we go out and open ourselves up to these experiences. You get that, right?
I think I understand it. I'm not used to thinking about things so poetically, but I think I understand the main concept behind it, that everybody has a set lifespan, and by the end of it, their energy is gone.
That's a natural part of it. And then, like, after saying that, says sort of like snuggles up against Sylvana a bit more arm to arm and goes, listen, back in Sharn, a lot happened, and I encouraged the group to be more open about issues. I know the circumstances that led you to stay with us were a lot. So I'm just gonna let you know this. Me and Paige, we visited our dead parents back in Sharn, and accepting the fact that one moment a person here is here and the next moment they're not here anymore, it's a lot to get down. Even if you're actively telling yourself that, subconsciously you might not know. So I just wanted to let you know that if you need anything, you can come talk to us. And there's no shame after losing someone to go meet new people, alright? I don't want to see you cooping yourself up all the time. That's not... If that's what you prefer, that's fine, but we saw all those flames out there, yeah? It'd be a shame if one like yours never got to know that many people.
I'm sorry, Sess. I didn't know what to do. I thought
Okay.
after everything with your sister that I had upset you all in some way, and I thought that was why you left me alone to punish me.
Okay. She's gonna like wrap her arm around her shoulder and say, listen, it's fine. Now, I don't know what happened between you and my sister, but she has not complained about it. And the reason why we left you behind, if that wasn't obvious, was simply because we wanted to see what Kai had to offer to the group. We don't want you to feel any less value for yourself. You don't have to prove your value to us. We already love you. You're a part of this group now. Hell, if we didn't feel that way, we wouldn't be, cuddling with you at night. Yeah?
She kind of blushes and stuff as she kind of leans into you.
I wouldn't be taking you out like this. Paige wouldn't be spending so much time talking with you, even after what supposedly happened. Sure, maybe Fru will open up a bit, and you'll warm up to him too. But listen, I know it's hard to remember. It's hard to fight back those thoughts in your head that a person, thinks less of you, but we don't. That's why you should go out there, make memories, make connections. People might go away. We might not all be around forever, but you can always make more. You can always justify the feelings put into you with the things that they do. Although maybe be a bit wary of Larissa. Her facial care routine is a bit aggressive.
I have a hard time with people. I grew up with not very many people I interacted with, and I was only ever treated professionally. And so it's strange to be around so many people that treat me closer than my own family did before their own deaths. Um, I've never understood people. I understood arcana, I understand magical theory, planar physics. People, though, always confused me. Beyond simply viewing them as a containment field for consolidated planar energy, it just never really made sense to me.
People are confusing. They're complex. They're ever changing. It's a lot. Okay, I'm not saying you have to figure that out. It's still a lot for me even. But one of the ways I try to remind myself that they can be worked with is to just keep it simple, dumb it down. You know, I can't read the big fancy words. I can't deal with the complex thoughts. But if I just take what they say and what they act as face value, then I don't have to think about it too hard. If Juby and I like sparring together, like she likes my company. If Paige tells me I need to fix something, I fix it. If Fru assumes I don't know what I'm doing, I'm gonna assume he's kind of a prick, but he's a cute prick, so that's all right. Don't overthink it, all right? They're complex, so low energy, low efficiency. Low energy, high efficiency. Just take them at face value and deal with problems when they come up. Okay?
I guess I'll do my best to try and understand.
We'll be here with you, okay? I don't know how long we'll all be together. Maybe we'll break apart one day, but we'll always have patience for you, Sylvana, okay?
And she's gonna put her gloved hand over your hand, and she's gonna go, You won't leave me, right?
It's gonna take a whole lot to make any of us leave each other at this point, I guess. Kliff had to go through a whole Paint had to go through a whole conversion to decide they wanted to leave, so.
What?
Trust me.
Paint wants to leave?
Didn't he tell you? Oh my fucking god, Paint! Long story short, he decided I'm gonna say it in nicer words than they said it, because I'm sure this is what they meant. They want to pursue different activities from our group. They think it's healthier for them. But they're still in town. They're still there to interact with. They just, working with us, doing work for money. It's different.
I don't really understand. I don't think I could really live without you all.
That's why I said to go out there and make new experiences. Spread your flame around. Our fire might be warm, but there are other fires you can warm yourself up at, alright?
She kind of looks distantly into the setting sun, and she it's scary. All of this is so scary.
It is. And hopefully, if and when it happens, you won't have to travel that far until you find someone, but just know, Jubilee, Paige, Paint, Fru probably, Kai-shen definitely at some point. Myself, we've all been through it. We've all had to lose people and move on and make new connections, and we're fine. I'm dumb as a rock and I'm making it work.
You don't give yourself enough credit, Says.
No, that's why I got people like you there looking out for me, alright? You know what? Go ahead.
I'll always have your back, Says.
I appreciate that, okay? I really do. You know what? I should probably tell you a bit about Larissa's facial care routine, so you know to say no to it.
Uh,
Close your eyes.
all right. And she closes her eyes.
And as the sunset is hitting them as they're sitting by the tree, says, leans in and gives her a little peck on the cheek.
You see her eyes like bolt open, and she blushes profusely.
Just a cute little flirt, all right? Sylvana, just to make sure you don't let Larissa do that to you, because to her that's that's not something as meaningful.
She does something like that?
It's a different culture as far as I can tell. But and then says gets up and wipes the dirt off her ass and then extends a hand out to Sylvana. Come on. If we make it, we can finish this work over at Oathgold to make it in time for dinner back home.
She'll take your hand and let you pull her up.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first time anybody's ever kissed me.
Sounds like it's one of those memories you get to hold on to then. Now come on. Let's hurry so we can make it back in time for dinner.
She will eagerly follow you wherever you take her.
They make the +1 weapon, come home, kick the door down, say, hey, we're back! I got some snackies for you, sis, and just fucking tosses a bag of, like, sugared jerk meat over to Paige. Grabs Jubilee and says, hey, I got something new to test out. We're trying this right now if you're free.
Oh, yeah. Let me get suited up. I'll meet you in the training yard.
Yeah. I'll wait for you in the training yard. Sylvana, thanks for coming out again. Okay. You should definitely consider doing with everyone else at some point. All right. Someone's a good look on you.
She blushes very deeply as she kind of looks away and goes, yes, sis, it was delightful going out with you as well.
This is going to walk over to the training yard.
Okay. But yeah, so Sylvana, unless somebody wants to flag her down, is going to scamper back to Jubilee's room.
I mean, I gave the baton to Paige if she wanted. I did toss her a bag of like sweetmeats.
I can, but if you want to do the thing with Jubilee, that's totally fine.
We can take a break from you for a bit. Jubilee's got to put her armor on. If you need more time though, we can do it right now. Mariska and I can RP right now if you need time.
I'm good if you are.
Just go.
Let's go.
Go for it, bestie. Gas up my bestie after flirting with her girl.
Oh no, it's complicated. Everything is complicated. Okay, Paige has been kind of spending the day tinkering with something on the dining room table. She's just kind of been hyper focused and just like quiet. So the moment like the jerky gets thrown at her, she kind of almost jumps out of her seat. Finally moving back into realization and turns over as Sess and Jubilee are leaving and notices Sylvana, and she's like, "Oh, you're home. Welcome back. Did you have a good time today?"
Sylvana's face is like beet red as she like averts eye contact from Paige and goes, "Yes, I had an exciting time out with your sister."
I'm really glad. Do you have a moment to talk about it a little? I wanted to talk to you for a little bit, but if you're busy or something, that's totally fine.
Oh, if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it.
I mean, if you want, that's totally fine. I mean, there's other things I wanted to talk to you about too, but it's it's totally fine. if you're tired or anything like
Oh,
that.
no, I'm not tired. Please, where should I sit? Where do you need me?
Anywhere. This is you know you live here too, so
Yes, I do live here. And she will just like sit on a coffee table and panic.
there's plenty of seats at the dining room table.
Yes. I was just testing how sturdy this table was, and it is satisfyingly stable. You don't need to worry about that. If anybody needs to sit on it, then it's good to go. And she gives like some finger guns, and then like very awkwardly goes over to sit at the table.
Good to know. I mean, structural integrity is very important. But anyways, okay. Well, you could start. How was your day? Did Lily, do you mind getting us some tea, please?
Oh, yes, if you would like some tea, I'll go pour, I'll go get the kettle on. I'll be right back.
You. But yes, did everything go well with my sister?
Yes, it went very well with your sister. We went all around town. We acquired all of the things she needed to make her new weapon. And we got snacks, and she talked about people burning, and then and then she blushes like extra hard, and then we returned to forge her weapon, and now we're here.
I'm very glad. I'm more than glad, because you seem really upset when we came home last night, and I'm glad that she was able to make you feel better. Is she still like glitching as badly as she was?
Because this is only the next day, she is still glitching.
Okay.
But it seems like now that you're talking to her right now, it's like less extreme. It's mostly when you notice that she gets especially like panicked or emotional that it starts to glitch again.
You a little off, and I just wanted to make sure you were okay and just kind of reassure you that, that we do care a lot about you. It was everything you gave us was really sweet, and I wanted to. She kind of fumbles. She kind of had something on her lap, and she kind of fumbles it for a second and takes it out. It is a little handmade scrunchie, red with a little bow attached to it. It's not well made. It seemed a little rushed. And there's band-aids. If you look a little too intently, she's got a couple band-aids where she's poked her needle a couple of times. I'm so sorry I didn't get you anything while I was in Sharn. And I felt, you do so much work and always with your hands, and that maybe this would be helpful to, keep your hair out of your way.
Paige, it's beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, it's really not that much. You spent all that time working on so many wonderful things for us, but I wanted to, let you know that we care about you too, and yeah, she'll like slide it over to the table.
Sylvana's gonna take it, and she's gonna look at it for like a long second in her hands. And you're gonna notice she's gonna start crying.
Really that bad? Oh no, I'm so sorry.
No, it's beautiful. I didn't think I would ever get something like this from you.
Oh,
I felt like after everything that happened, you uh, didn't want to be with me like that anymore, and so I didn't think you would ever want to give me something.
oh, Sylvana, no, that's nothing. I didn't mean that at all. I'm so sorry you thought like that. I, I really, uh, I don't know. I didn't mean to ever give that impression.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was me. I just really liked you, and I got so into it that I forgot that we were working together and that you didn't feel that way, and so I thought that I had upset you, and that's why you and everyone else didn't want me to be around anymore.
Oh no, we care about you deeply. All of us. She'll kind of move if she's sitting like away from her. She'll like move to the chair closest to her. I'm so sorry I ever made you feel like that, Sylvana. I want you to know how welcomed you are and how much we care about you, and we would never do anything to hurt you, or I would never do anything to try to hurt you.
No, I know you wouldn't. I know you wouldn't. I just, I'm not good with people. I, I make things. I understand how arcane constructs work and how, how, how everything is made of energy and how to utilize that energy. And I don't feel like I understand how people treat each other. That's not how I ever was treated. And I, I'm just afraid of doing something wrong and you all not wanting to have me around anymore and I would be alone again.
Oh, no, not. Of course not. Please, you don't need to think like that. She'll go and kind of reach for her hand and kind of squeeze it. It's different now. It's not going to be like it was. We're really trying to make this place a family. So we can rely on each other, and you can always rely on us too. I promise things are gonna be different. And you won't have to feel like that anymore.
She's
It's gonna be okay now.
She squeezes your hand with her glove, and then with her other hand she squeezes the scrunchie. And he goes, I don't want there to be distance between us anymore.
It's not. Oh, is that why you were sleeping in a different room? I thought I did something wrong. I'm so sorry, but no, I promise, no miscommunications. We're we're gonna try to do this right. I'm sorry. Will you forgive me?
You see her as she looks you in the eyes, her eyes start tearing up all over again, and she is gonna just leap onto you and squeeze you, hugging you. You have nothing to apologize for. I would do anything for you.
Gonna squeeze her tightly and glad to hear that. Thank you. I'm sure you're exhausted. Maybe you should go lie down.
She's gonna pull away from you for just a moment and go, maybe you would like to rest with me again?
Of course I would.
And she's gonna give you a smile and kind of, she seems to be less tense as she pulls away for a moment. And she goes, could you? And she holds out the scrunchie to you.
You don't mind?
No, I would. There is no one I would rather have. There's no one I would rather have do it.
Gonna take the scrunchie and kind of move around to the side, and since her hair is in a braid, she'll kind of mimic that, but like a one full braid in the back, and have the little scrunchie at the end of it.
And she will, once it's done, she'll kind of do a little awkward spin and touch her braid and kind of look to the side and be like, how do I look?
Beautiful, Sylvana. You really do.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being so kind. I'd love to hear about all of your adventures while you were gone. Maybe you can tell me before bed?
Of course, there's a lot to talk about. I'd like to.
Wonderful. I can't wait.
Lily, we'll just take the tea upstairs, if that's okay.
Oh, of course. I'll have it brought to.
As she kind of looks between the two of you.
I'll take it. Thank you.
Your room, okay.
Yes.
Wonderful, Paige. I'll have it brought up right now. And let me know if you need anything else up there. Bye.
And she's gonna scamper away with the tea up the stairs. Did I do something weird or strange?
I think so. She was acting a little strange.
But thank you. This has been one of the best days of my life.
I'm glad. You'll have to tell me more about your adventures with Sus today.
And she blushes once again at that. Her eyes kind of bolt upright. Oh, yes. My adventures with Sus. I'll tell you all about it.
Okay, let's go.
And yeah, and she will follow you to your room, and you will have tea. And she will gladly listen to all of your stories of your time in Sharn. And when you ask her about her day, she is gonna talk about all of their adventures, and then when she gets to like that moment on the hill, she's gonna blush and just like put her hands on her face. um, does is there like something that Larissa did on the ship with you all?
She tried to take my skin off and did that to Cess. Some sort of beauty thing?
Take your skin off?
She said it was some sort of high fashion beauty regimen facial.
Did it involve her kissing Cess?
Sing? She used her beak, so I guess you could say kissing. I'm not sure. Not sure it would be defined as that.
Oh, so it's just it's a harpy thing to just kiss people. So that's what Cess was trying to show me. Okay, I think I understand. Ugh.
Hey, did Cess? Did she with you?
No, no. She just did. She said she was wanted to show me what Larissa did to know to not have Larissa do it to me. So she then I guess tried to take the skin off of my cheek to demonstrate.
Seems something Cess would do. She was a little weirded out by whatever Larissa was doing. But maybe?
Uh, Probably. She seemed very much more nonchalant about it than I would have assumed. But not that I know at all what eating somebody's skin is like, or not, or kissing or anything like that. But I definitely know to be wary of Larissa getting near my face.
Yes, that would probably be best. She's a little abrasive, but in the best way.
I it seems like she will be a lot to get used to, but she seems friendly.
She's very nice, actually. She helped us out a lot during that mission, and we owe a lot to her because of it.
I'll have to thank her then for helping keep you safe then. Sorry, I guess I just didn't know enough about harpy things or Cess teaching people, but now I know. Oh, it seems to be getting pretty late.
Right, yes. You should probably, yes. Sleep is good. Resting, absolutely.
Yeah, yes, and do you still want me to sleep here?
No, please. Yes, absolutely. You can lie down first, and I'll like uh Yeah, okay.
Yes, yeah, up, and she just like jumps into the bed
Okay.
and
Yeah.
just oh, I should probably change into my sleep clothes. Yes.
Oh, right. Yes.
Just give me one moment. And she like rushes into the bathroom to change.
I am not looking. I am going to change over here.
And she'll come back in her traditional tank top and boy shorts with her gloves still on. And yes, I'll get on the bed first. And she jumps back into the bed now.
So, Paige is gonna be in her little nightgown and lie down as well.
And Sylvana's gonna sit like really awkwardly next to Paige for a bit, lying on the bed, before hesitantly going to give her a snuggle. And
It is very awkward at first, but
Yeah.
becomes natural as they.
they return to old habits.
Yes.
And with that, they will go to bed. Now we go to the 70s training montage in the gym right now of sweaty adventurers.
Says is currently in the gym just waiting for Juby to come down in her gear, and I believe Fru is there as well.
Yep, I currently on a pull-up bar, but doing it with my legs to like do
What?
crunches up to the bar.
Oh my fucking! I swear to God, the gym man in me is frustrated. Alright. Says we'll give Fru a wave and just sort of watch occasionally, just idle animation pose while she waits for Juby. You don't interrupt someone when they're in the middle of their workout.
Yeah, once Juby is adequately suited up, she will meet with Seth in the gym / training area.
Can I also add that Fru is not wearing a shirt?
Thank
Even
you.
less
Yeah,
so.
that is
Hey,
why I'm
yo!
staring.
Hey,
Thanks,
yo!
Thank you.
Hey, yo!
They're bare chested right now, so you get the whole view.
There's a reason why I said I was staring at Fru while waiting.
I mean, Fru doesn't even really wear a shirt anyway, but thank you.
I get the side pick action from here, anyways. Hey, Juby, and says scratching her face, and then the claws come up just barely almost decapitated. He's like, oh, hey.
Yeah. Oh, Fru is here, and she immediately averts her eyes. Do not look at the sweaty, muscular thembo. Averts eyes.
They'll do a quick kind of dismount and just be like, "Good to see you folks here at the gym."
Yep, good to see you too. Looking down at the floor.
Oh, come now, you don't need to be that embarrassed. If I make you that uncomfortable, then I'll go ahead and leave.
Who's embarrassed? You're just half naked. Anyway, let's train. Let's fight. Okay.
So this is
Fru,
gonna
please
take
go
a
put a shirt
sniff.
on.
So this is gonna take a sniff. Excuse me. Is how bad is Fru sweating right now? Is this gym stank?
This is very sweaty. They go and grab a towel to dry themselves off.
Yeah.
This
Fru,
is
I think
hentai steam clouds on them.
like dating sim visual novel garbage where there's mist clouds, sweat clouds over. God, I hate this. I hate this.
You know what?
Listen.
What my brain concocted? I'm like, since you're a tree person, it's just sap. It's not even sweat. It's just sap.
Oh my God, it's so gross.
Is it sticky?
Oh.
So you're trying to say that
Man,
Fru is sticky
not
and
the kind I
sweet?
like.
Let's go.
Eladrin is an elf for a tree person, so there could be some of that stuff going on, but they are in there, as I have noted, they are in their orange, the autumn color at the moment. So there's just this very strong yellow eyes, just kind of piercing gaze, and they'll go ahead and take a second, wipe their head down, and you see that the normally very very curated like tuft is kind of just like flat for a bit, and the hair actually goes a lot longer than you would have expected, just because there's so much going on up there. But they'll shake it out and then take a seat and say, and just look around to you guys and just say, "Well, don't let me distract you. If you folks came here to train, then by all means."
I'm not distracted. We're fighting, right? Sis, are we fighting?
Yes, that is why we're here. You all right? You need a second?
I'm good. I'm I'm fine.
All right, come on. Stand up, come on.
Right. Okay.
And says does the fucking stupid Spider-Man thing of, oh, we're having a very serious training session or fight. I'm gonna talk during it. So, Juby, how is your day? And like as like the claws are like bashing against her shield.
Bashes Sis back. It's like, it was fine. I was spent most of my day with Kai-shen, and we did training of a different variety than this.
Oh, really? And then she sort of like jumps up and like fucking like curb stomps into the shield to push it back more. Like says is very clearly just trying to pressure Juby's shield arm. All right. What sort of things were you up to? What kind of training were you doing in his room? Doesn't leave much to the imagination.
Oh my god. Well, she's gonna.
Sorry, blood's rushing to other parts besides my brain right now, so I'm really just autopiloting my words.
Right. I mean, if you want to just talk, we can just talk. You don't have to.
It's good practice. I mean, she like sheets the claws for a second and like puts a hand on Juby's shoulder. Listen, during an actual fight, you will have to deal with misdirection. And then she kicks aside Juby's shield arm. Come on, you can multitask, right? Come on, Cherry Bomb.
All right, and she'll back up, and she's like, okay, this is what we're doing. All right, no, not what you think. We had a very lovely time. We were doing some art, because apparently he's a very artistic soul deep down, and it was just nice. And then just like a really wide like overhead swing.
Says is going to duck under and say, "Oh, that's good to hear. Coach always told me warriors needed creativity to make sure they weren't, bloodthirsty killing machines." And she goes up for an uppercut into Juby's shield, like the lower half, pushing you back a bit more, and goes, "You art therapy, yeah? Was there much you had to vent about? Is everything all right, Juby? We can stop the fighting and actually talk if you want."
Oh, sure, because you're gonna take that as a window of opportunity, right?
I like where your head's at, but my heart's in the right place, I promise you. But if you still want me swinging at you, I won't judge.
She'll pause for a moment and just, we had things to talk about. I did, anyway, and I think it did him some good to talk to somebody as well. I'm worried about a few things. I'm glad that you took Sylvana out today. I think she really needed it. A pleasant distraction. Something is really troubling her. And it's got me a little concerned. But I think I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that Paint wants to leave.
Says like sheets the claws, puts her hands on her hips, full guard down, and is like, I got the feeling. I mean, something felt off during that last job, which I won't pry into if you don't want to talk about it. But after what Kliff said, I'm just saying it was a. Don't take this the wrong way, but it was a hard call picking between who I wanted to spend the day with to check up on, alright? And obviously you're more than just a checkup to me. You're very important, you know that, yeah?
Right. No, I know.
I'm just being careful for no stupid reason but my own. Listen, next time you and I are free, we don't have to make a big scene out of it. We, out of character, don't have to RP this. This can be applied in character. We can just go out and spend the day together, do more than just bashing two metal things together over and over,
Right. Right.
I got a good list of some pretty scenic spots from that old bartender at Larissa's bar if you want to check them out with me.
Yeah, that sounds really nice. I mean, something that Kai-shen kind of brought up is that, a warrior needs more in their lives than just fighting and training all the time, and I need more fun in my life. So I would really like that.
Oh no. Stick with me, GB. I'll make sure you get the most fun around, okay?
All right. The most is pretty ambitious of you, but
I promise I only want to put a smile on your face, okay?
all right.
Fru's gonna toss 2 towels at them. Not the one that they were using.
Thank
Okay,
you.
good. I didn't want you filthy fucking
You definitely wanted to have that big sniff now, Sib.
Yeah, you didn't want the sniffs?
out of character. Sif is gonna grab that towel they used, but fuck, I can't tell if Lily was breathing or actually sniffing that.
Bit of both, isn't it?
Yeah. Fru's right, it is getting a bit late. Maybe we should head back up, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. And things, for the record, things between me and Pain. I'm sorry that you got caught up in the middle of that.
I apologize. I was gonna get involved anyway. You're both important to me.
Yeah. I still shouldn't have, been snarky to you of all people. I mean, you didn't do anything.
It's like that. Trust me. I've had to deal with a few upsetting bits of news tossed my way by people I had relations with before, so I'm just saying if we ever want to share a bottle and vent about previous experiences, it's on the table.
It's the best kind of fun.
Really? Well,
That's
maybe
an
it's
option.
maybe it's high time I experience it then.
All right. I'm not too familiar with Greywall's nightlife, but I'll take a look into it for you.
All right. That sounds good.
All right, come on, let's set up. I think Sylvana might be waiting for you. I'm assuming they all go upstairs, find that Sylvana and Paige are sleeping together, but they're past sleep, so it's too late to ask if they can all share.
Yeah, if you go up to the living room, they are not there.
Yeah, assuming their door is locked or whatever.
It's closed. I don't know if Paige locks her door in the house.
I don't fucking know.
No.
We're gonna do the out of character assumption to avoid awkward waking someone up in the middle of the night. You want to share a room, Juby?
Let me just check real quick, and opens the door to her room just to make sure Sylvana's not in there, because she doesn't know about the arrangements.
Yeah,
so
she is not in there. There is Prince laying about the bed, quite spread out.
Bad news, Prince. We're having another guest.
I mean, if you'd rather just sleep with Prince.
Nah, he can get over it.
Glad to see I might be your favorite cat then.
Bright pink, even more bright pink. Yeah, come on in.
Oh, real quick, I'm assuming Fru is awkward in the hallway. She's gonna look back out and go, Fru, that offer I made with Jubilee the hangout, that's open to you too, okay?
Oh,
you don't get
gladly.
to be born, alright?
No. I will gladly join you for whatever escapades you are going to indulge in.
Ayo?
I assume just what was it? A bottle in Vanton? Is that what was happening?
That is the
Everyone's
escapade I had
fucking tonight.
intended.
We'll see how it plays out. Okay, cutie? We'll see you later. And closes the door with a very playful wink. And I'm assuming we all go to bed.
Yep.
Unless
Prince will snuggle between Cess and Jubilee, leave room for Cat Jesus.
What the? I'll take
and, but yeah, he is back to his cuddly self, Jubilee, and you once again have dreams of hunting with your erstwhile companions collared to you, but it just feels more natural this time. And you think this is probably for the best for them. They need your direction. And yeah, the next morning happens. Unless somebody wants anything specific to happen over the next several days, after about a week is when the next big event will happen with El Paint. So let me know if you guys, is there anything you want to do in that time period?
Within that week, I'm assuming on the like everyone's hanging out on the odd grocery shopping trip or whatever.
Yeah,
for fresh air.
You notice that Sylvana will continue to instinctively blush when she sees you, Sass. But she seems to be better rested and a lot more laughing and stuff with Paige than she's been for a while. And you notice she's wearing a little red scrunchie.
This is a good point to note. Says we'll internalize that. And aside from that, I think everyone is keeping somewhat of an eye on Paint, given the.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Paint's told everyone, right?
I don't know.
Given
Paint,
enough time, given enough time after the whole freaking out over being left alone, and seeing that she is doing better, would eventually tell you, yeah, I'm going to be leaving. Again, not anything against all of you. I feel like I can do better. Going a different direction. And over the next few days, they're just packing up a lot of their stuff. Still trying to hang out with them as much as possible, but probably gets the cold shoulder from a lot of the party members.
I'll hang out with you inside the house. I'm sorry, Obs. I've been dying to hear Lily's voice. How does she take this news? I'm sorry.
Well, she was always kind of scared of Paint, so.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that you're leaving, Paint, but you know you can always come by for a cup of coffee.
Can I also ask, Litro, is Paint staying in Kliff?
Or did you just not change your profile?
Just haven't changed it because I know what's coming up next.
Okay, I just wanted to see how you were existing like through these weeks. So yeah, I assume you're looking like
Normal Paint, yeah.
They look like Paint. Occasionally, you'll see them just like in their changeling form.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time, you'll see them as Paint, unless someone of importance comes over, then they turn into the Kliff.
But okay. So after about a week, you hear a big hoopla outside your mansion one morning. Like, you hear lots of people in the streets outside of your house, basically talking and shouting at each other in Goblin and stuff, and people shouting back in Goblin, and you hear like a procession of coaches and everything.
What is making all that racket outside?
Should we go check?
It's probably just someone important passing by. But
Not a problem till they knock on our doors. I'm eating the rest of my breakfast.
You say that, you hear a knock on your door.
speak as the devil.
I don't want to answer the door. I'm tired.
You made this happen.
Turn into
Like,
Kliff.
I'll open
after
the
being
door.
Turned into Kliff after Fru said probably someone important.
Says with like a toast with a fresh strudel in her mouth is gonna walk up to the door and open it.
you see that there are probably about 24 House Thrashk guards outside of your house, and there are crowds of various citizens of Greywall kind of in a bit of a cordon around these guards, looking and talking to each other as you see Captain Venom Spite, kind of having some of her ogres looming in the background as she glares onwards, as there are 3 incredibly ornate and well designed carriages, complete with their very own construct horses pulling them that have been sculpted to be these beautiful ivory and chrome designs and stuff that are bearing an enormous silver insignia of House Orion.
Who's at the door specifically?
It is currently just in honor of this, one of them is going to be Chief Kronzahar. Urlach is going to be there in her generally overworked self, except she's wearing her full parade armor kind of thing as she stands there.
Says, seeing this whole fucking national holiday procession outside her house while she's in her jammies messed hair with the strudel in her mouth, fucking chokes on her strudel, turns around, closes the door, important people. Important
just slam the door in her face.
I don't give us a moment. Give us a moment. I clean up. She runs over to Paige, licks her hands, and slicks her hair back.
What's going on? Should I prepare tea?
Yes, please. We have. I don't know how many people are coming, or I think Juby, Faru, if one of you two could ask more details, I'm gonna go change into something that isn't as embarrassing to be seen in by 10 plus people.
Are you going to tell us who it is?
They had a lot of fancy says actively have anything about it. There's Venom Spite. Captain, what's the name? There were a lot of house symbols. I'm not too good on those, but I know one was Thrashk, and the other one might have been your house. Paint. I don't really see
my
those
house.
That
And you closed the door on them?
I left it. I
I'll
told them one
I'll
moment.
I'll go get the door.
Thank you. Listen. I'm in my pajamas. All right. You didn't have to see an entire neighborhood look at you in your pajamas, did you? And says it's gonna
go over
run
and join Jubilee at the door.
To open the door fully.
You see
gaze in the spectacle.
Yep, and you see a very pissed off looking orc woman standing at the door as the doors of the carriages open.
Good morning. We weren't expecting company. To what do we owe the pleasure?
That makes 2 of us.
We are so sorry. You must forgive Seth. She's a bit of a scaredy cat.
It's... She clears her throat. She goes, on behalf of House Thrashk, we welcome the Lord and Lady Deorian to visit this home in the city of Greywall, which we have been permitted to by the grace of the governor and under the purview of Captain Venom Spite.
Wait, my family is here?
Now?
And
now.
As the doors of the carriages open, you see the carriage visibly dips down to the earth a bit as a massive wall of a man comes out of it wearing a cloak of what appears to be reptile scales with some kind of quilled fur around the collar of it, wearing resplendent clothes with a jaw that could crack open ice and a well-manicured pink mustache and short-cropped pink hair. And behind him are 2 tall, probably about as tall as Sylvana, to about 5'10" to 6 feet tall, 2 twin sisters, each with long pink hair and well-fitted corsets and gowns. One of them appears a bit more demure behind the other one as he lets them out of their carriage. And then in a carriage behind them, you see a tall, black gowned woman with bright blue hair in a black circlet around it and an incredibly displeased look on her face.
That is my father. Oh, my sister's Hilda already, and that's.
Oh my.
Oh no.
I imagine Fru is like in the intermediary and says, "If you guys aren't ready, you better get ready."
As actively like hopping over the banister, like I'm here, I'm ready.
Juby
So
is
ready for
gonna
guests right now.
Juby is going to look very cautiously. Like she's not letting the panic show on her face. But she is going to give a quick glance over in, Paint's direction and like trying to get a read on it. He clearly did not expect this, right?
There's a mix of major surprise, a large amount of just pure joy and happiness at seeing his family again, but also that kind of like, oh no, what did I do wrong? Whenever you know that your mother, like if your mother ever says your first and your last name.
Yes.
But all the same, I think the joy is still overpowering that as Paint actually starts to run out of the house straight over to his father, Flint, and just gives him, despite their small size, the largest bear hug around the waist he can.
Oh, it's good to see you again, my boy! And he lifts up Paint and swings him about off the ground. It's been too long indeed. Your sisters have missed you incredibly.
Oh, I've missed them so too. I hope they have enjoyed my presence. Father, it's so good to see you. Is this a new coat? Something else you've hunted?
Yes, I was out hunting basilisks recently.
Basilisk. Oh, you will have to tell the tale over some stew. We have a lovely goblin who actually knows how to cook amazingly. Not as good as the chefs back home, but still fairly well.
Of course. I look forward to hearing about all of your smashing adventures.
Please come in. I was not expecting you to visit. Please come into this small, humble abode.
And he will put you down, and then your two sisters are going to rush up, and your Hilda is going to scrunch your hair up as she hugs you, as Ronnie is just kind of like burying her face into your collar.
Kliff just goes ahead, wraps his arms around both of them, pulling them into a deep hug, before going ahead and like putting his shoulders on, or his elbows on both their shoulders, and goes, "Well, little sisters, how are you doing?" Knowing fully well that they are taller than him.
Yeah. Oh, we're doing amazing, brother. It's been too long without you. We've loved all of your toys, says Hilda.
How many things have you broken with them?
Oh, what's a few things between family?
Look over at my dad.
I did my best to ensure that it wasn't as quickly destroyed as it might have been otherwise.
Go a bit closer to my sisters and whisper in their ears. Remember, the good Cherie is on the 3rd floor in the bathroom of the great butler.
Oh, I'll be sure to remember this, brother. Oh, I've been looking to try a bit of a different flavor upon occasion. And then Ronnie...
I'm just saying, they keep many there. They won't miss any.
And Ronnie's gonna reach into her purse and is gonna take out a jar. She goes, I found the spider inside of our carriage, and I wanted to show it to you.
Kliff goes ahead and takes a close look. Oh, is this a new one for your collection?
Yes, I thought it had a very good color, and they don't have these kind of spiders back in Passage, and so I decided I'm going to keep it, and then I'll add it to the board later when we get home.
You know who would be really interested in that? My friends inside. You should definitely show them very closely all the significant details about it.
I can't just show them that. I don't know them at all.
And you'll get to know them over tea.
And as you're holding them, your mother is going to glide forward to look down at you.
Mother? It's excellent to see you.
Kliff, it is good to see you again.
Might I inquire about the purpose of this visit?
Yes, we will talk about it inside after you have provided the entertainment.
Entertainment. Yes, of course. I can do that.
She will continue gliding by you as her husband will stride of pride into the mansion. Oh, this is a smashingly beautiful mansion you've got. Quite demure, but I would have to say that it is definitely an adorable sight. You're doing quite well for yourself, my boy. Are these your servants? As he looks down at the at Paige.
No, those are actually my adventuring companions. And I also whisper to my sisters, like, okay, on a scale of Finchminster's birthday and the Great Crash of 72, how much trouble am I in with Mother?
She wouldn't say to us.
Oh, that's probably a lot then.
It's nice to meet you. Thank you for coming by.
Oh, of course! And he will grab hit your hand in his massive, like, frying pan-sized palm, and he will hold it up and kiss the top of it.
That's right there. That is Paige, our local time mage.
Does she have a last name?
Just Paige.
Straight and to the point. I like that about you, my dear.
And that's right there. That is Cess, the one who's recently dressed outside of her pajamas. She likes to hit things.
Oh, a girl likes to hit things, eh? You've done much hunting, have you?
Thinks back to the work she's done in Sharn. Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
delightful! I'd love to hear all about your hunts. I keep trying to get my boy into it, but he doesn't seem to show any inclination. Not like my daughter.
I don't know. Kliff's done plenty of good hunting when he's working with us.
And you see Flint turn abruptly to look at Kliff. And you didn't bother to tell your dear old dad about your smashingly good hunts?
I wanted to surprise you.
Well, color me surprised.
I've been working on my bowmanship. And that, of course, you already know, Jubilee.
Lady Ravamont, always an honor. As he will also go to kiss your hand.
Lord Orion, it's a pleasure to see you again.
You've grown up mighty well, my dear. You truly are a privilege to your mother and father.
That's very kind of you, sir. Thank you. and Lady Dorian, it is an honor to see you as well. Thank you for taking the time to visit us.
She does an ever so slight curtsy and goes, Lady Ravamont, it is good to see that you've kept my boy alive up to this point.
I've been trying my utmost.
Despite his best efforts, I assume.
Without her, I doubt I'd still be standing. Now, this is also our newest companion over this way, would be Fru. I am still cautious about this one because I don't know if they'll ever stab me in the back or not.
Trust me, I will not stab anybody that doesn't deserve it, but...
So I still better be cautious.
always good to be cautious around anybody until you get to know them truly. And then they'll take a moment and gesture towards the Lord and Lady Dorian and just say, "My name is Fruling from the western towering woods of the Eldine Reaches."
Oh, from the Eldin Reaches, eh?
Hmm? Much good hunting to be found there. I believe you said you had an interest.
His eyes sparkle as he rises like a tower as he puts his hands on his hips and goes, "Well, I happen to be quite the hunter myself. I would love to hear your stories. You and the other girl." And he's gonna then grab Cess by the shoulder and pull her into a vice grip.
Do I have to roll anything for this?
No, he's just grabbing you and just pulling you in for like basically under an arm.
Would be glad to share any of the exploits that I might have with you.
Excellent, excellent. Well, if you can summon your servants, get beverages and other things provided, we can all settle down for a jolly good talk.
Servant, we only have one.
Oh!
Really worst case.
How unfortunate. I'm sure she's overworked. What do you do if she ever gets sick? You only have the one.
We have yet to hire more, and people here are not as silver-blooded as the rest of us, and have been used to living without servants, and have been teaching us how to do so.
I have voiced the exact same concerns. We'll get right on that.
Well, you were always a sensible girl, my dear Raffamond. You were always a sensible girl.
But please, come into the parlor, and Lily will get us well situated.
All right, as you get into the parlor, your NPCs also join you. You see fucking Larissa come springing into the room. Oh my god, there's more of you! You're all so cute and pink!
Yes, and Kliff will go ahead and introduce all the NPCs, Sylvana, Kai-shen, and Larissa, all to his family as well.
Oh, you've got quite an eclectic gathering of sorts. It's a pleasure to meet you. Yo, you're like even hotter than your son. Do you do the thing too?
Let's read that. That was private.
Oh, you don't like talk about that in front of your family? That's kind of weird, but alright. Like, I talk about that in front of my mom, like, all the time. My mom would just go in, like, vivid descriptions of, like, every dude that she was ever with.
Just face completely red and just dreading what his sisters are already thinking.
You see Hilda and Roddy are both, like, full anime, like, dark face, sparkling, like, red eyes looking from behind your father at you.
Oh, gods.
I see you've been up to all sorts of adventures, Kliff.
Yes, many new experiences.
Quite.
I will be willing to tell you some.
Or if you ever need like a story, I can totally tell it too. I'm a pretty good storyteller. You want to hear me sing? I actually wrote a ballad about it.
You wrote the...
I believe, if I may speak, Larissa, if you could do the singing thing you used to do in the bar to add some nice ambiance to this parlor, the setting. Is that good? I'm not fancy, Juby.
Okay.
You don't have to be fancy, Sass.
Do you stick out your pinky or your middle finger when you take tea?
Not the middle finger. I think any other finger will be acceptable.
Got it.
And so Larissa is gonna be like, okay, and she like salutes you, and she's gonna start like buzzing around the room singing.
Just look at Lily and like, Lily, please prepare a meal and some drinks with the finest ingredients we have.
Of course. We are welcome to have you at our home, Lord and Lady Dorian.
Triple potions for my father, double potions for Hilda.
You know how it is. You've got to feed the old beast as he taps his stomach. And Hilda kind of like pushes her chest, her ample bosom forward and goes, and I'm still a growing girl.
I mean, yeah. Food.
Sastia, please come sit next to me. I can help you.
Yeah, I'll sit with you and Juby. I kind of, maybe not the immediate splash zone of whatever might happen.
Paige, you should probably come along too.
Yeah, we got room in this pile. Let's, grab a couch or a chair, a couple of chairs for ourselves. Says, picking her jaw up from the floor.
I'm content to stand. Someone can have my seat. That's fine.
I'll stand with you, Juby. If that's
Kai-shen will be looming in the background.
We live in a manor. Do we not have a dining table that's larger than like 4 seats?
No, you do. You
This
fucking
is
have
the
like 12
Ju-
people in this house.
Juby, given her work, she's very used to standing in very formal situations.
Juby, can you come sit with us? She's like, says like tugging on like the hem of your like armored skirt. I don't know.
I can. I usually stand.
Well, I feel like they're gonna be talking to you. Maybe it'd be better if you were sitting with them to talk?
Right. Yes, you're right.
You also get to eat food too, which is, food's nice.
Meanwhile, Paint still disguises Kliff, just going and trying to like set up the everything to where it's perfectly for the standards of his mother and father. When no one's looking, he also whips like whoopee cushions underneath his sister's seats.
When they sit down, there is a loud sound, and they both laugh quite giddily. So does Larissa.
Is this common at your home?
Say again, I didn't quite hear that.
I said, is this common at your home to play pranks on each other?
We like to test it out. It's even worse when we're all together, though, when we work together.
No one's as good as our brother. He is truly the finest prankster.
I want to look at how does Kliff's mom look at this interaction that just happened?
Her face appears to be made of ice, and it is chiseled in a frown of disapproval.
Gotcha.
But she's kind of had that face since she showed up, so it's hard to tell the difference.
It's really no different, but Prue would just be like, damn, they really do this at home? Looks over to the mom. I have no idea what that means.
And Hilda's gonna look at Jubilee and be like, I have been practicing my axe play if you want to have another try down in the training yards.
Oh, really? Yeah, we have our own training grounds. You could test it out if you like.
It's been a while since I've been able to strike down something that wasn't a creature we were hunting.
Well, I hope to give you a little bit of a challenge then.
Oh, you always did, Juby. Somebody has to put up a proper fight since my brother over here is all brains, no brawn.
I've beaten you quite a few times, if I remember correctly.
You know that simply casting spells is not an actual way to overcome a physical contest.
Well, perhaps you should learn how to see past that some more then.
Maybe then you would like to...
It is not my fault you attack a false image when my real self is over there. Perhaps you should learn how to look through those better. There are beasts, that can actually do that.
Oh, by the way, did you sell your cloak of displacement?
I think I did.
Okay.
Why did you ask the DM? Are you gonna hit him, DM?
Lord Flint goes, "Oh, yes, by the way, my boy, where's that displacer beast cloak I made for you?"
Sadly, it was stolen by a horrible enemy. I tried to get it back, I did, but he managed to escape my clutches before I could take down the rest of his evil group.
Ah, what I should say I'm not terribly surprised based on the locale, but quite disappointed you didn't put up more of a fight.
Oh, we did. We burnt down the warehouse.
Oh, smashing!
Yes, there was a lot of that too.
Yes, we have heard in great detail about some of your escapades prior to this point.
And impressed, right?
Aware is more accurate, especially as I see that the group gathered here are the very same people I saw fighting in the arcane arena not long ago. I see of the caliber of accusations that have been thrown at them for your associates.
Now, I wasn't there for that. I was with you, if I remember correctly, but from what I understand, they were the ones to stop the cheetahs.
Be that as it may, I've known that in many circles there was talk about criminal ties amongst your... She kind of does that icy gaze across all of you. Friends.
With respect, Lady DeOrian, I like to think that you have a little bit of a higher opinion of our sense of judgment than that.
Mother, I know you can be strict, but I assure you, the people I am with here are some of the best I've met in the city yet. I've talked to you in my letters about how amazing they all are. Surely you can trust my judge of character at least that much to choose that I would travel with good friends.
They have proven adequate at ensuring your continued survival. That says at least something about them, and I'm sure that Lady Ravamont has ensured that you have been staying as compliant as possible.
Oh, I'm sure I've been a headache in her hair.
Ronnie, the other... You know, it's funny because Kliff has twin sisters and Cess and Paige are twin sisters. But Ronnie, the less verbose twin, is gonna lean in towards Paige and hold a jar under the table as she looks up at you and goes, I found the spider in our carriage. I think it's very pretty. And then she looks very expectantly at Paige.
Oh, it seems wonderful. Is it still alive?
Yep, it's still in there.
Oh.
Chillin'.
Okay. Where did she say she had it? In her...
It's in a jar that...
oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, she has it in a jar. But she's just holding the jar towards you.
That's very nice. I probably wouldn't have been brave enough to catch a spider myself, so that's very cool.
Oh, you shouldn't be afraid of them. They're more afraid of you than you are of them.
Oh. You know, they do normally run off when I see them, so it's not... This one isn't dangerous, is it?
Oh, no, not to us. We're too big.
Okay. Well, very nice find. Are you gonna keep it or are you gonna name it?
Oh, I'm going to take it home and put it on my collection board.
Your collection board?
Yes, I like to collect all the creatures I find, and I study them, and then I mount them on the board so I can always be able to look at them.
Goes ahead and makes a perfect replica of said board from the last time that he's seen it, which probably would have been during the arena when he went to go visit his family. So probably still out of date, just by a little bit. Right behind Paige of just like all of the insects and things that she's
Yep.
collected over the years.
That's quite impressive. You have quite the collection.
You'd be amazed at the things you find if you just look hard enough.
You're right. I never thought of it like that. That's wonderful.
Do you have anything here?
Hmm.
Oh, what'd you
sorry?
say?
Oh, her ears are just kind of back a little
Yep.
bit.
Yeah. Do you have anything you collect?
Well, a little bit, I guess. I love reading books, so I have quite a few of those.
Especially ones about ships.
I mean, I just like reading. I wouldn't say it's collecting, but I do have quite a bit.
Do you have books about insects and arachnids?
Uh, mm, Not specifically geared towards it, but there are mentions of them in some of the books.
She's gonna lean in like very close into your personal space with her eyes, her very wide pink eyes looking at yours, and be like, I would like to look at your books with you.
Of course, you're more than welcome to. I have a few upstairs.
Okay, you can show me later. I'll follow you.
Okay, okay.
And then she will pull back from you and put her spider jar back into her purse.
Kind of looks over at Paint like, what?
I can tell you're both going to be great friends already.
Oh, don't mind Ronnie. She's just very into all of her creepy crawlies, but, it keeps her focused and out of trouble. She hasn't quite gotten into the sport of going after bigger things like Father and I.
Although we have tried to show her pictures of like ink kegs and other things like that before.
They seem too big to put on my board.
We just need a big enough pin. How the blacksmith dealing with that, by the way? I know we hired some.
Yes, to great expense. They continue to strive to satisfy their needs. As Lady Deorian seems, once again, just perpetually displeased.
Is
Well,
our food almost ready yet?
yeah, Lily comes out with the food, and she puts some for everybody, and then like these massive helpings for Cess and for Flint and for Hilda. Oh, this looks to be some delightfully rustic food.
Yes, Lily is very good at what she does, so I think you'll enjoy her cooking.
Unfortunately, we do not get the chance to go out and hunt the big game, like you may have been hoping for, but trust me, I know just how satisfying it can be.
Oh, well,
You should have seen this time when my father came back with his most prized trophy. Came back and we all had T-Rex steaks after.
Yes, indeed, my boy. Old Hilda and I went to the Talenta Plains, and I was able to track down one of those ferocious Tyrannosaurus Rexes.
Oh, quite impressive. So just the two of you?
Quite. When you are as masterful a hunter as we are, you don't need more. It's all about skill and trappery.
Indeed, being prepared is more than half the battle.
Yes, I would hem it in and keep it distracted with my axe and shield, as father would lie in wait and lead it along the various ambushes we would track it through, slowly bleeding it down until it couldn't fight anymore.
Keeping your distance against such a beast is very important for keeping it safe.
Sometimes you don't need to keep your distance when you could just strike directly, as she flexes her arms.
Fru, who's always has their crossbows on them, just says, well, to each their own. I prefer something a bit more like this, and actively holds up their crossbow and kind of cocks it just to show it off to them.
Oh, excellent craftsmanship.
My darling butler is the finest blacksmith you could hope for.
Oh, you'll have to give me his name. I'm sure that we could look into it for my next bit of arsenalry, especially if I can get this boy out there for a smashing good time.
Last time I went hunting with you, Father, the beast was able to see straight through my illusions with its nose. It attacked me on sight.
And that's why I say you need to actually practice some martial prowess, my boy. Not everything in this world is going to be willing to play your little mind games.
Or maybe I just need to get better at my games.
It's what your mother would say.
Speaking of mother, can I ask for the visit of this trip?
I wish to discuss family business after dinner.
I see. Well, then let us dig in.
And you guys eat, and Flint and Hilda will just constantly talk about just all kinds of stories of... Hilda will just talk about just life as an 18-year-old girl and the rich life and her adventures and boys and other rich people stuff. And Flint will chime in with just constantly talking about things he's hunted down across the continent.
Whenever Hilda starts talking about a boy, you notice that Kliff may or may not subtly write the name down, hidden underneath the table.
And
Does she only talk about boys, DM?
uh,
Messing around.
Asking for a friend.
asking for a friend. That is what she is mentioning currently.
I will note that interpretation, DM. Thank you.
And then what's his name? The father will ask questions about, like, you know, what's it like living in Drone? What's it like living in Drone, my boy? I bet there's all kinds of monsters here you can hunt. I heard there's things like Lamia and Medusa and whatnot here.
We don't hunt those. We actually are neighbors with them.
What? You live next to them?
Yes, one is actually very nice.
And
we
very
saved one of their
influential.
That just sounds so absurd. I can't believe that such things have been allowed to live so long.
Well, you might know of her, considering she was a general in the war.
Oh, I didn't fight in the war. No money or prospects in that. That was things for the kingdoms to do. We simply made sure the trains arrived on time.
I'm sure my father would actually disagree with that sentiment.
Oh, I'm sure that old Augustus Ravamond has a few words about what is a train's effectivity versus one of his house's bloody airships. But I assure you, my dear, that if when put into direct capacity of carrying, that the lightning rail will always triumph. Not until you somehow manage to devise some kind of cargo airship will you ever be able to match that capability.
Well, I might have to, press the matter because trains are not always going to be the safest option for traveling, especially with large amounts of cargo. In fact, one of our missions was to deal with an issue on the trains.
Lady Deorian is going to quite clippily say, "Yes, I have talked to my son about that. It appears that he resolved it effectively."
Yes, and I would hate for something like that to occur again.
And if you remember my report exactly, it was mostly my friends here who did a lot of the work, especially Jubilee and Cess, who was able to take down what appears to have been the main culprit behind it.
Yes, I am aware of their activity as a part of it. But I can assure you, Lady Ravamont, that such things are clearly a once-in-a-blue-moon affair.
I'm very glad to hear that.
I'm sure those passengers who suffered more than just financial losses would be totally happy to hear that too, but that's just me talking and sips her tea and then realizes what she said and turns away.
You almost could hear the slow creaking of Lady Marianne Orion's head as she turns to look at you, Cess. And
Says takes a quick
Paint just
glance back
looking-
and then turns back.
Paige is looking right at Cess, being like, "What the hell is wrong with you?"
I assure you, Miss whatever you wish to call yourself, that House Orion takes extensive care of our passengers, and if any incidents occur, that their families are adequately compensated.
Moving on from the topic.
Sylvana is also very quiet during all of this and appears to be incredibly uncomfortable.
Moving on from the topic, yes, we had several missions. Actually, our most recent one I wrote you about as well.
Dinner is over.
Yes.
Flint, you may exchange drinks with them. I'm going to talk to our son. Yes, Marianne, of course. Sherry, anyone?
Gladly.
And Marianne will sit there for a moment as Flint will barrel out of his seat to pull her chair back, and she will stand up and go, "Take me to a location where we can talk, Kliff."
Yes. I will, in fact, do that. And in fact, just for added security, I am sure Lady Ravamont would happily stand outside the door of whatever.
She is not needed for this conversation. As she continues to stare at you, not even addressing anyone else in the room.
Of course. I'm sure Lady Ravamont understands that as I look over at Jubilee.
Juby will give you a look, sort of nonchalantly, but very pointedly to you, give a little nod.
Very well. This way. As I guide my mother to a private room somewhere.
Okay.
I'm sure we have a tea room or something.
Yeah.
Juby will follow, but not. She's not sneaking. She's not trying to be secretive, but just trying to keep within earshot if she can.
Okay. And as you guys proceed to the tea room, your mother will sit down and she will say, "All right, sit, Kliff."
Sits down immediately.
I have come here to hear about what happened in your previous objective. I know that there are, of course, NDA GSs in place, but I'm sure there are things around the specifics of the contract itself which you can discuss about the affairs of House Leander.
Well, about that, such NDA contract might be null and void in my case, so I could, in theory, tell you everything.
She remains impassive, but one of her well manicured eyebrows will perk up slightly.
More or less, the contract they gave me was for another person, and not for me.
Why would it be for another person? You are registered with the Directorate.
Correct, except not really. Mother, there has been something I've been keeping secret for quite a long time, and I just want you to know that I have done everything I can for this family that I could possibly, I think, do in my power to make it better. And I just want you to know how much I love all of you. So if I tell you the secret, promise not to not love me anymore?
You are my son. Why would I ever not love you?
Because what? Because oh, because I'm not really your son. And I drop my form to reveal the scarred, Kliff-shaped changeling form.
She blinks a few times. Is this what you wanted to tell me?
For quite some time, I suppose. It's a bit of a complicated issue. And I would be willing to tell you all of it. And of course, because the contract that I signed was for technically Kliff, and I'm not technically Kliff, I could technically tell you everything about the mission if you so wish to hear it. So you get all the secrets about the other family business if you wish. Hoping that softens the blow a bit.
Why are you telling me this now?
Because for the longest time, I only came to this revelation recently that I am not truly your son. And I was also scared of your reaction.
Why?
Because all my life you've treated me as your own son, only for you to find out that I'm not your son, and it could have made you not love me anymore, and that is something I would dearly miss, because I love you, I love Father, I love my sisters, and the thought of all of you hating me drives me a little bit insane. You don't hate me, do you?
How long have you known this?
Well, I've... It's a bit complicated. You see, I knew your son when he was racing through the streets with other kids. And remember when we fell down that well when I was very young?
Her face tightens up, ever so slightly. Yes, I remember.
Well, I was stuck down there too. Only I survived. And I feared I would not get out without assistance, and I did something terrible, and I took the form that you know. And I felt guilty about it. So guilty, in fact, that when the spirit of your son came to me, I offered to be his vessel. I did everything your son wanted. I let his spirit inhabit my body for a very long time. And it was only recently that your son had to move on to the next life. And now I am here without him. Like I said, it's very complicated. And I try and go into detail more about the spirit of her son and about what happened to him.
With her face, when you finish talking about what happened to Kliff, she does seem to, while still remaining icy, she still does tear up a bit. And what is it you want now?
To continue being your son? To help people? To help the family as much as I can in any way. You have done so much for me. You've shown me love. You've given me shelter. You've raised me. I will never forget that, and I wish to repay you in any way I can, even if you hate me, which I understand. Perfectly reasonable in the circumstances. I will always... I will always be your son, and I will always do what I can for the family.
She takes a deep breath in, and she is going to stand up and walk towards you, looking down at you.
looks very scared and like they're about to be hit.
And she is going to grab you and hug you against her.
Fully stunned. Like body completely paralyzed, not expecting this reaction at all. He was expecting to get hit, slapped, yelled at, basically anything but a hug.
I'm sorry. You didn't feel like you could trust me with this earlier. I've known, Kliff. I've always known. When you
did?
first came home after that well, you did not behave as my son did. But you looked like him, and you acted like him. So I contacted House Thrashk to investigate what happened further. And they found his body.
I'm so sorry, Mother. Starts to cry into her sleeve and start to wrap his arms around his mom. I wanted to tell you. I didn't. I was just so frightened of your reaction. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I've been your mother for 20 years, Kliff. There is nothing in the world that will change that and make me love you any less.
I don't know what to say. I was expecting such a different reaction. You knew? Did father know? Do my sisters know? Hilda and Ranny?
No, I never told them about my findings. I thought it would be better for you to live a life without them treating you any differently. They do not have the same restraint or awareness that I do.
We should still tell them. I want to be myself once again. I want to be. The name I have chosen for myself is Paint. I want to be Paint. I want to be Paint Dioran, if you would so let me.
Then my son is dead, and Kliff is gone. We can figure out the logistics later, but know that I will still love you. And no matter what anyone else in the family or outside of it says, I will always be your mother.
Just gives her the tightest hug and a kiss on the cheek. Tears still streaming down his face, but there's a smile there.
Will will you allow me to talk to them first about this?
I've kept the disguise up for many years. I can do so a little bit longer. But please, make it soon.
And she will squeeze you tight for a second with a more of a claw grip and you forget your place, son. I do not work on your timetables.
Of course, mother. Forgive me for my foolishness.
Now, let us finish the evening, and I will talk to your father. Is there anything else you want me to know?
Oh yes, because the contract is null and void for me. I can go ahead and tell you all of the details about that mission I was on. You will be very interested about the super ship they are trying to build.
And so you talk about everything about the mission.
Oh yes, everything.
Okay.
Even when I was snooping around the ship, I told her every little thing I found.
Okay. A good amount of time goes by, Jubilee, as you continue to stand outside of the room.
Jubilee does not interrupt at any point. She's taking all of this in and waiting to see if she is needed. But frankly, after a few minutes of listening to Paint divulge secrets from a house that she is very close with, she briskly leaves.
Okay.
I heard nothing.
After a while longer, Lady Deorian and Kliff will return, and Flint is in the middle of telling a story about how he had chased down a flock of cockatrices, when she simply says, "Flint, I am tired. Prepare the room for me to sleep." "Oh, yes, Marianne, of course, Marianne. I'll have to tell you the rest of the story another time." And he... Sorry.
There was one more thing I wanted to tell my mom. I was wanting to tell my mother about my plans for leaving the group and doing something different. Of course, I will still be their agent whenever they need it, but
Yeah.
basically telling her about the new orphanage occupation I'm planning to take.
Mm-hmm.
And also, upon re-entering the room, we'll subtly approach Jubilee and quietly speak to her. Thank you for staying out of the room. It brought me strength knowing you were just outside.
Of course. I made you a promise. That means something. I'm glad it went well.
Let's hope my father has a similar reaction.
I hope so.
Okay.
Is that why you're leaving, Paint? Because you're finished spying for your family?
Smart people keep telling me to do my own thing. I suppose I should listen to them.
So I don't know why I'm surprised. I had really hoped that your show of goodwill with Kairos was legitimate, but I'm glad to know the truth.
It was legitimate. I do want to get to know him better. Think of this as a last act, I suppose, for subterfuge. I want to put that behind me. Like I said, I want to help people. And that is what I want to do.
Help people or your family?
My family are people, but I see where you're going. I will always love my family, and I will do what I can for them, but no more spy work, no more subterfuge. I will make that clear if ever they wish for my help. I do not want them to know of my gift only for them to use it against other houses.
You know I'm gonna have to tell Kairos, right?
I know.
And that's on me, too, for letting a spy aboard his ship. He had full trust in me.
You didn't know?
No, I didn't. I hope whatever it is that you do next, I hope you find some measure of happiness without lies and deceit.
I hope that I can become a person that you can respect, rather than someone you can only look at and see disappointment in. And I hope that you can continue with this group. Guide them, and
Like I
become
guided
a
you,
stronger person.
like I guided you.
Jubilee, if you didn't guide me, I would still be Kliff. I would still be spying for my family. I would still be an adult trapped with a child in my mind without any hope for my own life. You and the others saved me.
I wish you luck, Paint. I really do.
I wish a brighter future for us both. And that we might meet again.
I hope to meet you for the first time. And she'll head on upstairs.
All right.
I then want to approach Sess and Paige when I get a chance to get them both alone.
Yep, yep. Eh, I
Thank
assume
you.
they'll still be around the dining room parlor area, probably just trying to wind down.
Yeah, if they do, I'll go ahead and like pull you both to the side. Be like, can I talk to you for a moment? And when like we're in our own little group, just go. I just wanted to say thanks to you both. You helped me a lot while I was here. And I feel like I've been too ungrateful of that. You have been almost like an extended family to me. And I've been hesitant to say such, but it's true.
I know what you're doing is for yourself and not in a bad way, of course. But I'll be happy no matter what you do, and I really hope this path leads you to happiness too. It we see each other again though, right? It's not like you're going away forever.
No, of course, you can visit me anytime. I was being drastic before, I think.
Don't be a stranger. If you need anything, let us know.
I think I'll be a stranger for a little while until I figure out exactly who I am. And after, as Jubilee said, it would be fun to meet you both for the first time.
That
As
would be
me.
nice.
Thanks to you both again so much. I'll be leaving on the morrow. You know where the orphanage is.
Mm.
Feel free to visit me anytime. Goes ahead
I'll
and
miss you, Paint.
pulls them both into a big hug. Is Sess there? Or are they away from the mic? Oh, they're muted.
Yeah, I'm here. I've just been waiting because there's a lot of talking from Bestie, so I wanna on the wait patiently. Yeah, I'm certain if you'll need help, you'll come in, so don't worry. All right, and if we need to see you, Lady Ray will point us the right way. Okay.
After an insult or two, or a bad mouthing on my part, I'm sure.
Anyways, Cliffy boy, you take care. Okay.
You too, Sessy girl.
See, girl.
I look at Sess and be like, look out for your sister. Then I look directly at Paige and go, look out for your sister.
Of course.
At least he's covering both bases.
Look, you both need to watch out for each other, okay? You both are chaotic in your own ways. I'm gonna miss you both.
Do Paint.
Sess, I will see you at the next luncheon you do at the Church of the Silver Swing.
Yep. I'll see you there.
And then one last one. I promise. Sorry, DM. Going to go over to Fru. They're good people.
Our people or your people?
He just looks at the rest of the party.
Hmm.
They helped me out a lot.
Make sure that they know that that's how you feel.
I've told them so in my goodbyes.
And so this is it then? Leaving in the evening or leaving after we all go to sleep?
Leaving on the morrow morning.
Hmm.
I do hope you will look after them well.
To the best of my abilities, of course.
They've helped me a lot. And I'm sure they can help you too.
I hope so.
Perhaps us sad boys don't have to be so sad after all. Gives a bit of a smile.
Ah, Paint. I hope you know you've done good for the people of the world. From what I know, Larissa wouldn't be here if you weren't. If you hadn't done what you did.
Gives a more genuine smile at that.
All those people you rescued from the Seekers of the Silver Flame. They wouldn't be here without you. Without all of you. And while I may not have been as fortunate as to have those dear to me saved by a group of adventurers, I take solace in the people I believe that I have saved through my actions now, both here in this mercenary work and at home in the orphanage. It's good work. It's very good work.
Enough work. Can probably make this world a little less chaotic, don't you think? A little less cruel. Enough to
Chaotic.
people like us. Be quite good.
Yes. I am a touch sad that you will not be joining us on any further excursions, but I'm sure that you will have a positive impact. Just know that the people that you meet, the people whose lives you change, you never truly go away in their mind.
I know. I have a few of those people in my mind now.
Good. I will leave you with the words I said. It's the last time we had a little heart to heart. Just shine. Become the best version of yourself and shine.
I will. And you can take some of your own advice as well. Although
Alright.
with just kind of like just puts a hand on your pecs. You're already pretty shiny. Oh, what the hell with it. Just gives it a good squeeze.
I'll forge you this once. Mm. There's a serious sense of their eyes falling, and then they'll just tussle your hair and walk away themselves.
I will also go to all the
NPCs.
companions, Sylvana, Kai-shen, and Larissa,
Uh-huh.
and give them my goodbyes as well. Not as heartfelt because time
Okay.
constraints, and also
Yeah.
they're not players.
Yeah. Sylvana will give you a big hug and, wish you the best on your adventures. Kai-shen will, shake your hand and say, you you fought well for how long he knew you. He hopes that you learn how to get some discipline in the future and that you're able to achieve your goals. And Larissa goes, you were a good fuck, and good luck doing whatever you're doing. But I'm staying in the house.
I slip her my new address for whenever she wants to visit.
Okay. And with that, our plucky group of adventurers can conclude for the night. Thank you
I
for
would just
everyone.
like to add.
Yes.
Sorry. As Kliff's family leaves, if you're ever hunting in the area, if you want to see. Sorry, I just wanted to make a little joke. I'm sorry.
So thank you guys for hanging out tonight. We had some ups, we had some downs, we had ups, and then we had big downs all over again. It's a roller coaster of emotion. That's what Ashes of the Last War truly is. So thank you all for coming by tonight. I hope all of our players had fun. And this is the last session that Kliff/Paint/Nobody will be in the party. Perhaps there will be a new face to join this motley crew when next we play. As they start heading towards their next adventure. All right, I'd like to say, if you haven't done so already, please go follow these wonderful people here. That's type !players. It takes you to each of their Twitches. If you haven't done so already, please give me a follow here on Twitch, a sub over on YouTube, a follow on Twitter, and you can join my Discord, the Eternal Citadel, and be a part of my incredible community. All right, we are going to go raid a cute little kobold today. She's a big D&D nerd, but currently she's playing board games on TTS. So we're going to go send some love to Kobold Sprig. She's very nice. Very cute little kobold. Let's go send her lots of love. Kobold Sprigadoo. Oh boy, quite the emotional heckin' day, everyone. Be sure to hug all your loved ones, and next time we will see what drama our heroes get into next. Alright, have a good night, everybody. Bye!
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.